Come and sit on the side.
Huh?
You can sit on the side.
Sit on this side.
Thessalonians chapter 2. So the Eulogies are short as we sing Hari Ram, Hari Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare
may be able to travel comfortable. Hindi sama yun eh.
Govinda bolo Hari Gopal bolo 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 Radha Ramana Hari Govinda bolo Radha Ramana Hari Govinda bolo Hari Om. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sisters and brothers, devotees, we have all assembled to pay our last tribute and respects to a very noble and honorable gentleman, Mr. Saroop. We celebrate his life. Your presence here is indicative of your support. We thank you all, and can I now ask everyone to please stand as we begin our devotions to Bhagavan and we pray on behalf of the departed. You can clasp your hands, bend your heads in prayer. Think of Bhagavan, Sri Vishnu, Sri Krishna, God whom you have come to know and love. You can offer silent prayer on behalf of the departed. Divine Lord, Supreme Being, may your blessings be upon the soul of our Pitaji. May he attain moksha, liberation at your feet, Bhagavan. So beautiful is your form, the yellow dhoti placed around your waist, Sri Krishna, the banamala, the fresh forest flowers that adorns your shoulders, the janeyu, Sri Krishna, the mesmerizing, captivating smile of yours. We are all instruments in your hands, Bhagavan. Like you play the bansuri, you offer your breath into the bansuri, so too you have offered breath into all of us. And we are instruments. We perform our duties through your grace and blessings. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, may your blessing of strength, courage and fortitude be upon the family. Today, these two brothers are about to perform the ceremony. With all their love and heart, we pray, Bhagavan, that may there be liberation and moksha. Please say after me, everyone. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah. Hari Om. Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam Paramanabam Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Megavaranam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalaнаянam Yogi Bhiridhyanagamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavaiharam Sarvalokaikanaatam Om Sri Vishnave Namah. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Nijamana Mukura Sudha Varana Raghuvar Vimalayasha Jodayaka Bhalacha Buddhahina Tanu Janike Sumira Bhavana Kumar Balabudhi Vidya Dehu Muhi Arahu Kalesha Vikar Pavana Sutta Hanuman Ji Ki Jai Sharanam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Jai Shri Krishna. Dhanyavadaha. Thank you for standing. Asani ji, please take your seats, everyone. You can offer your flowers. It is at this time we pay our last tribute in this particular way, where we believe that our mother, our father are our our gods. They are likened to the universal. Mataji is no longer here. She has gone to Bhagavan. This is our belief. And today we are about to perform this ceremony and to perform simple worship. How is this worship? How will this be performed? The offering of water as they both circumambulate for 5 times. They will walk around and they sprinkle water around, symbol of purity, after which they shall offer chandan, perfume, essence, garland, and of course other sacred offerings should be made as well. So this is an opportunity. I'm certain that Rakesh and Suresh and of course other family members, because of the elevated position, the great person he was, they would have, and of course being their father, would have performed their duties by doing all of these things. Today he's going to do this, yes, but he would have been doing this all their life, the children. So this time we do the circumambulation, you sprinkle water, you walk around for 5 times. Starting from here, let's sprinkle it. Om Adhya Mukha Gotrasya Mukha Pretasya Mriti Stanshava Snanam Maya Diyate Tavo Padishtatam Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Umanadi Nidhano Deva Shankha Chakra Garadhara Akshaya Pundri Kakshat Preta Moksha Padobhava Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Vishnave Namaha Om Anadi Nidhano Deva Shankha Chakra Garadhara Akshaya Pundri Kakshat Preta Moksha Padobhava Om Vishnave Namaha Om Adhya Mukha Gotrasya Mukha Pretasya Mukti Staneshva Nimita Om Snanam Maya Diyate Tavo Padishtatam Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Everyone. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Sitaram Govinda Radhe Gopal Sitaram Govinda Radhe Gopal Sitaram Govinda Radhe Gopal Sitaram Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe Gopal Radhe Gopal Radhe Gopal Radhe Gopal Sitaram Govinda Radhe Gopal Sitaram Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe Gopal
Hare Mukunda Murare Rama Krishna Hare Mukunda Murare Panduranga Panduranga Rama Krishna Hare 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 Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama 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 Jai Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो फिर कोई न केवनहारा हो फिर कोई न केवनहारा हो फिर तू ही मेरा पाकर जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा जो भी तेरा ध्यान करे जो भी तेरा ध्यान करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sisters and brothers, there are two critical, crucial moments in one's life: birth and death. We come into the world, we live for a period of time, and then there is reabsorption, departure. The life that we live dictates our present, our future. Sisters and brothers, in this particular verse, is it the end actually? Should I say, is it the end? All of us know, as Sanatanis Hindus, that the body may disintegrate, but the soul continues its journey. This is not the first time you and I have been here. We believe in the principle of reincarnation. We come and go. There are so many species, but according to Sri Ramcharitamanas, we are very blessed with this human body so that we can serve in the name of Bhagavan. Guided by a Guru, we can attain moksha. So birth, Brahma. Life, sustenance, Sri Vishnu. Mahadev, reabsorption. Every day this happens. Through the divine grace of Bhagavan. But the soul is unborn, it is eternal, it is everlasting. He continues his journey. It says, Najayate mriyate va karachinnayam bhuva bhavita va na bhuyah ajo nityaha shashvatoyam puranona hanyate hanyamane sharire. The soul is never born nor dies, nor does it become only after being born. For it is unborn, eternal, everlasting, and ancient. Even though the body is slain, the soul is not. It is normal for us to become attached to the person whom we interact with every day, whom we work with. We develop relationships, we are connected, and it's also very difficult to lose a loved one, and particularly a father or a mother. This family, Mataji, has ascended to the heavenly abode, and this is our belief. No one can dispute or query how you think or what your beliefs are, but today, now we are performing the ceremony, and we will be very attached. We cannot query why or what has happened, but we can simply trust in Bhagavan. Build that faith in the Supreme Being. Say, my Lord, you are in charge. I surrender. I offer everything to you, my Lord. And every day we chant the Ram's name, Shri Krishna's name, chant the name of Bhagavan. This is the only way we can go through life. So I would like to share possibly two other verses, and this particular verse is taken from the final chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 64. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mami vaishasi satyam te prati jane priyusi me om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Shri Krishna, who is the Supreme, having a conversation, dialogue with Arjuna. Arjuna, despondent, dejected, has fallen in his chariot. His limbs have become weak, his throat parched, suffering from a state of anxiety. How can I continue on, my Lord? Shri Krishna says to Arjuna, Arjuna, give your mind to me. Be devoted to me. Worship me and bow to me. Recognize the presence of God every day. Trust in the Supreme Being. Doing so, you will come to me. Does it speak of this gentleman? Where did he live? In the mandir, the ashram, serving, worshipping, guiding others, an important role in the community. He served to the name of Bhagavan and Guruji. It says, give your mind to me, be devoted to me, worship me and bow to me. Doing so, and this is the belief, doing so, you will come to me alone. I truly promise you, for you are exceptionally dear to me. Well, how do we do puja? Every day. Is it important to worship the devatas, light the diya, offer flowers, perform simple arati? Is it important every day? Yes, it is. But is it also important to serve from your heart, perform your duties righteously, honestly, in a very truthful way, efficiently, to perform our duties? Would you say that's the greatest puja? The life that you live is the greatest puja, and it should be exemplified from in our lifestyle, the way we interact with each other, communicate with others, in the workplace and everywhere else, the way we live. That is a puja as well. In the name of Bhagavan, through God's grace. And the final verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Verse 78, chapter 18 of the Bhagavad Gita. Yatra yogeshwarah Krishno, yatra partho dhanurdara, tatra Shri Vijayo bhute dhruva nitir matir mama. Wherever there is Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, and wherever there is Arjuna, the wheel of the Gandiva bow, goodness, victory, glory, and unfailing righteousness are there. Such is my conviction. So wherever there is God, and wherever there is the devotee, the God and the devotee, and there is a connect, there's a communication between us and Bhagavan, the Supreme Being, then goodness, victory, glory, and unfailing righteousness are there. Such is my conviction. Is this your belief? That if you continue, and little children, I know you are very attached to your grandparents, and you love them very much, just like you love your parents, and trust in Bhagavan, and God will take very good care. Okay? So, trust in the Supreme Being, that once the communication exists between us and Bhagavan, then why worry? Bhagavan will do everything else. He will do all the rest. Trust. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Where is Bhagavan? Can I ask you, where is Bhagavan? Where is God? He's everywhere. He's also the divinity in you and I. We are conscious and we are aware because of Bhagavan. And so every day, live your life to the very best, as if it would have been your last day. Live. Live happily, but in the name of Bhagavan, with integrity, humility, simplicity, with devotion. Live in the name of Bhagavan. Bhagavan is also that witness to our every action, the Sakshi, the witness to our every action. Let us perform our duties to the best of our ability, and may we chant the name of Bhagavan. Sitaram Bhyam Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Offer your flowers and bow. Jai Shri Ram. At this time, we shall listen to these two brothers as they share the eulogy of their Pitaji, after which members, those of you who would like to say a few words, just a few of you, though I understand there are a couple of speakers, you will come, and one after the other you shall express your blessings. Jai Shri Ram.
Sieudath Saroop. I'd just like to share a short on my dad. So Mr. Saroop will teach, as most of you know. He was a teacher for most of his life, taught from kids and then even taught their children as well growing up in Lancashire. So I see a lot of temple devotees here, so a lot of you would know him from the temple, with my mom as well, their service to Swamiji. And for me, I always believe one of Dad's keywords was always spreading Swamiji's blessing, his mission, and to me he was always a temple builder. And from I know, like most of you here would know, I would share the memories, selling raffle tickets to build the Universal Prayer Hall in Gulf City almost every weekend. Build first temple in Pinal that Swamiji consecrated. One of the 16 temples that year, the first concrete Datamurti that Swamiji ever consecrated was in Pinal that year. Aripo. The miracle that was Aripo. A few of them that were there was able to witness that, every day, every weekend that we go, whatever we needed, we just had to carry steel and cement, and anything we needed that day, something you would give us in the river. Right? You needed to cast the concrete, the river bed would just be full of small rocks, gravel. You're ready to build the walls. You'd have a cave in, you'd have all the rocks to build a Aripo temple. And then, he always wanted an ashram in Pinal. And I think he was happy that he got his ashram. So, yeah, that's why that's there now. A little fun story we had actually. It wasn't always, growing up with a teacher as a dad, going to the same school to teach as a dad, sometimes it's hard to draw the line between sir and dad. But the first time we actually went hiking was in Bounty Trace. So he took us to the mud volcano and then down to the beach. Also familiar with it and coming back. So on the way back, the three of us, just dad, myself, Rakesh, he said, wait here, he's coming back in 5-10 minutes. So we waited and as good children, we waited for about 2 minutes. And then he decided to walk off in the middle of the bush, deep forest to find dad. And this old forestry officer here actually lost his way. So he actually told us to stay put, try to find the tracks to go back home, and then come back for us. So we met up with him about half an hour after, and he was panicking, he was scared. And we didn't really understand why he was scared until we got home. Because we got home, mommy wasn't there with us, so kids, so we all excited, telling mommy what happened, the adventure we had. And how, dad leave and he went, and we went looking for him and exploring, and we found him about half an hour after. And I remember the look she gave him. He said, "You see that? Didn't bring my children back today." And that was it. Now I know why he was scared when he lost us in that bush. But he was always quiet. He never got angry, he never got upset at anything. Always had a nice, calm, firm way. I may not have inherited all of that. So I was having my engagement, and 2 weeks before the engagement, my grandfather passed away. So he just came and sat down and said, "Well, Papa passed away, and Eulogy will change the date, and he will set a new date." So I looked at him and said, "Well, what your family have to do with me?" Because not as understanding as he was. So then he just took 5 minutes again, he looked at me and said, "Eulogy will change the date," and he got up and he walked out. And I didn't really take much of it. And then from that evening, that very same day, he started to fast. Every evening he would do prayers. And I found it strange because he wasn't going up any temple. And it was only later on I realized that no matter what, he did his part as the eldest son for Papa. So after everything, he still fasted, still did his prayers, did his offering, did everything for Papa. So the next year, Calvi messaged me and said, "Can you go put some flowers for me. And I remembered what Dad did, so I did the only thing what I could do. I said, like, just give me directions and I'll go. You know, so yeah, he was, no matter what, he was always a teacher, a guide, and you know, somebody to learn from. And this was, I'm talking about 8-9 years ago, still learning life lessons from him and going on. So yeah. Thank you.
Sieudath Saroop, everybody. My dad, Sieudath Saroop, more commonly known as Boya, to his family and village members growing up, was born on 16th September 1952 to Rajan and Ramdale Saroop of Pinal Rock Road. He had 2 brothers and 3 sisters. My dad and mom, Lakshmi Saroop, who passed away just last year on the 31st of July in India, were married in December 1982 and celebrated their wedding registration on the 16th of January 1983, which is when they celebrated their wedding anniversary. Tomorrow, the 16th of January, would have made it their 40th wedding anniversary. They had me and Suresh and 3 granddaughters, Raika, Raina, and Leah. My dad told me how life was in the village when he was young. Even as a child, my dad was a hard worker. He used to tell us about planting the garden and looking after the animals, which he did religiously before and after school. He and his mother would sell in Pinal Market together to have money for the next week of school. He needed to share the money with his brothers and sisters and was still able to save some. He saved enough to buy a bicycle, which he used to ride to school at the Pinal Rock Presbyterian Primary School. A couple of years ago, he introduced me to Reverend Omrao of the Pinal Presbyterian Church, who was a retired teacher of the Pinal Rock Presbyterian Primary. This was a complete shock for me. For the first time in my life, the roles were reversed. When meeting someone with my dad, it was he who taught them. Reverend Omrao gave me the story of my dad having and owning a bicycle, which was apparently a big thing back then. He said my dad was one of the very few that had a bicycle in the school, while everyone else walked, including some teachers. He said he remembered that he used to borrow my dad's bicycle and go home for lunch and come back to school. My dad attended Palo Seco Secondary. He told me that the day after he got results, the principal offered him a temporary job as a substitute teacher to help out with the classes and students. He honestly believed that education helps people, and he continued to educate himself. Later he went on to study at Morsika Teachers College, where he met quite a lot of people that still kept in contact with him. In the week, they spoke about him and their experience with him and helping in the Hindu society. He continued on to study at the Victoria College in Pinal around 1970. His first actual teaching appointment was at Pinal Queenam Government Primary, where he taught for a few years, and then eventually went to Clark Rochard Government Primary School, where he taught until retirement. My dad was my primary school teacher for several years. I made this comment one of the nights in the week, that I felt that my dad worked overtime as a teacher and parent. Once he gave me a cocktail in school as my teacher, and then came home and gave me another cocktail as my dad. He was athletic too. Every year he would run and win in the teacher's race. This comment was also made when the teachers were here, and Mr. Beepot was, he felt a bit embarrassed as a PE teacher losing every time. Both Dad and Mom met Swamiji in June and July 1988 at DYC, when the foundation stone to build the ashram was laid. She was an original member of the Bhajan group with Mr. Satish This was before Uncle Gian. And my dad, a member of the executive for a number of years. And well, you heard about my brother speaking about the Aripo Temple. This was constructed in 1989 and it was completed within 21 Sundays. And the story of how my brother gave of getting all the materials to the river, it was a complete miracle. Their service and Dharma continued with weekly service at the Hanuman Milan Mandir, which was eventually shifted to the Pinal Rock Road, where monthly satsang began at the Saroop's residence. A Datta Murti was consecrated here. Puja was conducted by Pandit Ramnarayan, or more commonly known as Eulogies. Swami Renu came from India in 1990 and conducted 11 satsangs in 11 months. The Sri Sachidananda Yoga Ashram, or the Pinal Ashram, took 14 years to construct from 2000 and was completed and consecrated in 2014 together with policeman Ramdat and his family. In 2016, Swamiji finally granted my father permission to visit Mysore, India, after witnessing some of the taxidermy work my father had done to preserve the animals and birds. He did seva. He taught the devotees and volunteers to preserve some birds that Swamiji loved. While in India, on Datta Jayanti 2016, my mom had a heart attack. 8 stents were inserted to clear blockages in her. When discharged from the hospital, Swamiji called them to Nada Mantapa and touched her head and told her, "Now you know why I call you here." Both my mom and dad continued doing their seva to Swamiji despite health conditions slowly but constantly decreasing. In 2021, dad did tests and discovered he had blocked arteries. He did not inform me or Suresh. He said that he didn't want to burden us. At the end of 2021, he started having chest pains, and in the new year had to be rushed to Surgimed. He needed a pacemaker immediately. At that point, I was informed of all the medical problems my dad had via phone call from Dr. Badrangi. Darlene, the kids and I tested positive for COVID in mid-December and was not released until the end of January. There wasn't much I could do but video call. I never felt so helpless. He decided he wanted to go India for the procedure, which became another problem because both of them didn't want the vaccine. When we were better, all my attention was focused on them. Everything became such an obstacle for them to reach India. My mom chipped a bone in her heel and was wheelchair bound. She got COVID, kidney infections, further leg damages with connecting flights. The list goes on. In May, I broke a bone in my leg, and again, I was helpless. I was so angry. They depended on me for support, and I tried so hard, but I felt it was never enough. Everyone was really saddened to learn of my mom's passing. It was difficult for everyone here. I feel it's because they saw my mom leave with my dad, heard she passed away, only saw a picture in memory of her, and a few nights of wake and satsang. They never saw her body, no funeral. It was as if she disappeared, as Darlene said at night in the wake. Suresh and I did her rites there. There was little support for us, so far away, and no closure for anyone else here. After Dad returned from India in November 2022, he said he was much better and was back to normal. I reminded him, it is not normal for him. Take it easy. But being the person that he is, he could not rest. He stayed here a week and then went back home. Recently, he began informing me that his pressure was low. Every day at 10 a.m., I would call, "Did you take your medicine?" "Yes." Did you eat? Yes. Did you check your pressure? Yes. Did you take a rest? Well, I'm not doing much, he would say. On Monday, 9th January, he called and told me his pressure was very low and he was feeling dizzy. I made arrangements to carry him after lunch to Sieudath. When I arrived at the house, we spoke. He was resting on the couch. He wanted the fan on and a few minutes of rest. I sat and waited for him. I didn't see any improvement in his condition and told him, it doesn't make sense we stay here and you're suffering. I asked him if he was ready to go and went closer, held his hand to help him up. He looked at me and said, yes, I'm ready to go now. I thought he was in a coma and fighting for air. I saw him lay lifeless on the couch. I was shouting to him, get up. I'm not strong enough yet. I can't pick you up. Don't do this to me. I called the ambulance. I called the ambulance but got no response. I called Uncle Glenn to help me carry him to the hospital. We loaded him up into the front seat of the van and I was speaking to him the entire trip, holding his hand, patting his leg, informing him of where we are, how long again it's going to take, how long it's going to take us to reach if we're almost there. I told him, come on, don't do this to me. I haven't recovered from mummies yet. When we arrived, they checked him and said there was nothing they could do. They informed me that he suffered a heart attack and that he had passed away since home. Later in the evening, after informing Prasadi of the events, he replied and said tears flowed from Sri Swamiji when he heard the news. It took a while to help Swamiji. He is praying for my father's afterlife and mukti or moksha for his soul. Sieudath Saroop.
Hari Om. Shri Ramachandra Kripa Lubhajumana Samarulam Navakanjalochana Chanjamukha Chanjaparagana Shri Ram Syavar Ramachandra Ki Jai. Sri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajuman. Bhagavan is all compassionate and merciful. Bhavavaiharam, who removes the pains, the difficulties, the fears from our lives, the fears from this mundane existence. To cross this ocean of mundane existence, Bhavasagar, we need the blessings of the wind, the grace of Bhagavan, as well as the Guru. The Guru plays a very important, integral, critical role in one's life. The Guru exists in many forms, in many presents. Both of you have done what you got to do through God's grace and through the blessings of your Gurus, your mommy and Pitaji, your mother and father, and of course, Guruji. How much control do you and I have? Do we have control of our day-to-day activities or even what happens within us? How much control? Am I truly in charge? Allow it to rest in the hands of Bhagavan. The sequence of events would have occurred as it is meant to be, as whatever has to be, will be through the divine grace of Bhagavan. Your trust and belief in Bhagavan. Don't negotiate or query in your mind. Leave it in the hands of Bhagavan. You all have served. Your father, he lived the way he lived, the life in itself is the greatest message that can be told and shared with everybody. And such exemplary behavior should be continued on, this legacy by both of you and other members of the family and others. As you mentioned, a temple builder. He knew how to also engage others to attain a common goal. This temple or temples or ashrams are vehicles that take us, to carry us on this journey to attain moksha. Live happily, offer your prayer, trust in Bhagavan, surrender to the Supreme Being. God's blessings. You all are very dutiful. You all are indeed very blessed. And continue to carry on the legacy and of course embrace the many messages of your parents. Jai Shri Ram. Siyavar Ramachandra ki Jai. At this time, if I know there are others who would like to come and say a few words, you can do so. So at this time, I'd like to call on Dr. Bajrangi to say a few words. Thank you.
Sieudath Saroop. So just 3 words I want to say. Basically, it highlights what I think of Saroop. I only know him for 14 years. The 3 words are bhakti, shraddha, faith, and seva. That is all. Ever since I know him, his joy is from serving his guru. So he and his wife lived their life for the guru. The bhakti was for the guru. The faith, absolute faith in his guru he had. A tremendous faith. His greatest joy came when he knew, like now he is preparing, even with a weakened body, he was happily going out. A few days before he went to purchase furniture, he wanted to get the doors done as fast as possible. He was dedicated to his duty, his seva for his guru. That is why you all must not cry. He lived his life how he wanted. There's no other way for Saroop. This body must go. And he lived like that. He totally believed seva for the guru is the greatest, and it is the greatest. And he lived that to the life. So he was never sad. He was totally committed. And he was happy living that. So was your mom. And the greatest thing was with a weakened body. Both of them had weakened bodies to the end. The mind was still focused. The mind is everything. The mind was totally focused. It never left its duty. And that is why I come in. And so you have nothing to fear. And the message that you receive from Swamiji, that tells it all. Tears in the Guru's eyes. What greater gift can you get? Jai Guru Datta.
Thank you so much, Dhanyavad. Bhakti, Shraddha, Seva. Most beautiful. Good. Would like to say a few words?
Namaste और सीताराम, Leonard Panditji, my dear beloved brothers and sisters. My name is Harry Saroop. This is my eldest brother, Sieudath Saroop. I am 2 years younger than him, so we grew up together. I knew him best. I don't have the speech.
I didn't prepare nothing, I don't have to. When you know someone, you can stand up and speak anyway. Say what you have to say about this person. So bear with me, please. Give me a little time. I came from New York with my entire family, and they're all here, and they are supporting me. And I have so many things to say, but I'll try to be short and sweet. I will also sing you 2 songs here today in my little remarks. It's my understanding that when my parents got married, for 7 years they had no children. My father greatly needed children. He had the love for children and he had no children. And so he adopted my cousin for 7 years. But my father prayed. He did say, he did whatever he had to do. And after 7 years, my brother came into this world. This man is a realized soul. The life he lived, those who know him will know. This man is a saint in a human body. He was sent by God after making petition to God for about 7 years. And there is a film song that expresses a little joy. And when he came into our family, there was such joy, there was such merriment, there was such happiness beyond expression. And there is a film song I'm going to sing for you, but it was made into a chutney song here, everybody knows it. Tujhe suraj kaho ya chanda, mera naam karega roshan, jag mein mera raj dulara. Now, that's a very meaningful song. It's not a chutney song, but the chutney take the world by storm. And I will try to explain it for you. He says, Tujhe suraj kaho ya chanda. The song says, and this is like the expression of my father. The song says, your coming into this world has brought the galaxy of light into my life. And as I look at you, I see in you my name being carried on for another generation. This building was a house, but your coming into this world has made it into a home. And as you play with your toys, I play with you. You are my toy. And you do all this while you carry on my name for another generation. And the verse says, I will hold your hands and teach you to stand. I will teach you to walk. I will take you upon my shoulders and take you to the mountaintops and show you the world. And I'll teach you the strategies of survival. And the final verse says, when I get old, I expect you to return the favor. I expect you to hold my hand and teach me to walk. And show me your world, the world that you has built. And you will do all this while you carry on my name for another generation. So those of you who know, please sing along with me, please hum along. I'm not going to sing the chutney version. I'm going to sing the film version. तुझे सूरज कहो या चंद्र से तरस रहा था, मेरे आंगन में कोई पेड़, नन्ही जो हंसी से बची, मेरी सारी दुनिया तेरे संग झूल रहा है, मेरी बाहों में जग सारा, मेरा नाम करेगा सीनत, जग में मेरा दुलारा, तुझ सूरत कबू गजन्ना, तुझे देख कबू क्या तारा, मेरा नाम करेगा सीनत, जग में मेरा दुलारा। आज मिली ताकि तेरी, तुझे मैं चलना सिखलाऊं, कल हाथ पकड़ना मेरा, जब मैं बूढ़ा हो जाऊं, तू मिला तो मैंने पाया, जीने का नया सहारा, मेरा नाम करेगा सीनत, जग में मेरा दुलारा, तुझे सूरज का या चंदा, तुझे देख तो या तारा, मेरा नाम करेगा सीनत, जग में मेरा दुलारा। Brothers and sisters, my brother is the eldest son, and he assisted my parents. He was an example from birth. As any son, this is what is expected of you, to stand up in time of need and support your family. And this man has done that for his entire life. I remember he used to take me to school. We had to walk 4 miles to school in the hot sun bare feet. And he will hold my hand for 4 miles. He will put me on his right side, which is the grass side of the road, and he will walk on the other side facing the oncoming traffic, meaning he is very protective of me. When we go to school in the morning, my mother will shower us and she will shine us with coconut oil. And you know what I mean. She sat coconut oil in the soft part of your head. And walking for 4 miles in the sun, you know what happens. The oil comes all here, all here, all here. My brother had 1 suit of clothes to go to school. Those were the days, the hard times. We didn't even have shoes. He will pull his shirt tail off from his pants and sap my face, wipe my face and prepare me for class. He cannot soil his clothes because he's going to get leaks. And then he did it with this part and then he will hide it. He take me to school. I am the man today, what I am, because of him. My father used to drive the cars of those days, the Datsun 1600 and 1200. The whole village thought it was my father's vehicle. It was my brother's vehicle. My sister is right there. My sister used to drive to go to school. It was my brother's vehicle. I went to school, I went to college driving it was my brother Vigo. This man stand up as a brother and as a father and did everything for all of us. You know, he continued to live his life like that. And those of you who know him from the temple, he's a loving guy, he's a giving guy, he's an example from birth. He's like that. This is a saint in human form. And I wish that you all learn something and take his teachings. He has been a teacher all his life. And we are very close. I grew up with him. And we used to play together. We used to fight together. We used to do everything. And let me share a little joke with you now. You know, long time they used to make ghee. So we had to take out the cream or the sari from the milk and put it in a bottle. So my parents gone to the movies. And me and my brother, we went to thief sari and eat now. He's like Makanchor, he's like Christian. So in the dark, we dip in our hands, and I eat and he eat. And then we put on the light, because we ain't nobody see me. When we put on the light now, this man looking at me and laughing, and I looking at him and laughing. What do they have? This sari had worms. It's all over. It was all over our face. And we didn't know. But those are the kind of things we do. And as you come to view this body, I want you to look at something. He has a mark on his nose bridge here. I give him that. It troubled me, and those days we had mobile oil cup. We couldn't buy cup. And I pelted him with a mobile oil cup. No, I can't tell them why. You didn't come from New York for that, okay? So, yeah, so I pelted him with a cup and he get cut on his nose. There's a mark up to now. And when we fight and things, as normal kids, when we fight, my parents are going to beat us now. When my parents hold me, he will tell them, no, don't beat him, that's my brother. And when I complain to my parents about him and then they go to beat him, I just say, no, that's my brother. There's an internal love that you have for your blood that is not expressible. You know, people would not understand. Now, I was the one who was the Hindu. I grew up in Sanatan Dharma. I was the one who used to promote Hinduism and everything. And I have to say this here today, because I'm going to make a point. Circumstances beyond control, I migrated to New York City and I became a pastor. I'm a Christian. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm a pastor right now and I do funerals in New York City. I've done so many funerals. I've never felt like this. When it hits home, it's different. So, the hardest thing to do is to break the news to your family that you have become a believer of another faith. And so my grandfather was a mahant or a priest or a pandit in that culture. Oh, sorry. Right, in that culture, right? So we grew up with good background, you know? And when I told my brother that I have become a pastor, you know what he said to me? He said, Harry, he says, everybody's destiny is different. And I am happy that you have found your calling. Go and serve the Lord and conquer the world. That was the man. He never condemned me. He never, that's the kind of person he is. And today, we have lost a great soul. And may his soul rest in peace. So once again, I want to thank you all very much on behalf of my family that came, my entire family came from New York City. And again, I want to thank each and every one of you, those who know him, those who are supporting us today on behalf of his children. And may God bless you.
Thank you very much from the brother of the deceased, the departed. Whatever standard a great man sets, others follow. At this time, I would like to invite Raika, who is not very tall. I hope you can see her, but she's here to just say a few words, and she will stand right here. And the other little sister will come next, and the mommy. Stand by, sister.
I vividly recall the memories I once shared with my Ajay and Aj. When I was younger, Ajay and I had sleepovers with Ajay. We had many stories about their past and had tea parties with them. And I think one time you had to wash the cup because we poured peanut punch in it. Ajay used to tour Ryan and I in and around the temple and help us with our work. Aja and Aja attended all our birthdays and gave us presents. Aja, Raina and I used to read many books and play games. I only hope that they will enjoy the afterlife, they'll endure Swamiji and be with us always. From what everyone has been saying in the past week, I think they were very remarkable souls. Raina and I are very proud to have them as grandparents and will miss them dearly.
God's blessings, these children, and you are indeed very brave. Kiraika and the other sister, very brave, God's blessings, and your grandparents will be very proud of you. So, sisters and brothers, we have come to the end of our ceremony this morning, and I would like everyone to simply clasp their hands. Let us offer a prayer. Hare Om. He Rama Purushottama Narahari Narayana Keshava Govinda Garudadhuja Gunadidhi Damodara Madhava He Krishna Kamalapate Yadupate Sitapate Sripate Vaikundharipate Characharapate Lakshmipate Pahima Om Vishnave Namaha Hari Om Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Bandhu Cha Sakha Tvameva Vidyadravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Devam Asato Ma Sargamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurmamritam Gamaya Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva Anadi Nidhano Deva Shankachakragarabha Akshaya Pundrika Shatveta Musha Droha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Trust in Bhagavan and live each day in love. At this time, sisters and brothers, you can come and you can view the body. Maybe you could come this way. Some of you may have flowers to offer, malas to offer. You can do so now and you walk this way and you go. Alright, so you come this way and you make your offerings. At this time, I want to thank members of this beautiful group and the members of the ashram for these wonderful bhajans, for singing, and I hand over to them to do a couple of bhajans. Jai Shri Ram. So in about 5 minutes, then we shall be to Mosquito Feet. God's blessings. Jai Shri Ram.
My dear beloved brothers and sisters, I wanted to sing you another version, and but it asked me now is the time to do it. So I'm going to sing you two versions here today, and I will attempt to explain it so for better meaningful understanding.
If you have a flower you like to offer,
The first version I'm going to sing is I am here, Kayla Jai. Okay, the first version is I be Akela, Jai be Akela. Do din ke zindagi mein, do din ke mera. What it means is that we have all came into this world, and one day in a similar manner, we will leave. Although we have spent a lifetime here, it seems like 2 days. And these 2 days were spent in a mela. A mela is a bazaar or a fair. And what do we see in a mela? We see people of all creed and race, all nationalities. They're helter-skelter, but they're doing something in common. They're all trying to win something for themselves. And so this is how life is. And now, but when we come into this world, mire of material wealth has attacked us, and we have changed our promise that we made to God. We promised God that we will worship Him when we come into this world. But having come here, we focus on the accumulation of material wealth. So much so that we gathered a full treasure chest, but only to find at the last moment that we didn't take anything with us. We leave it for someone else to enjoy. So therefore that poses question, Kahe ko to aya jagme kya tusko karana? Meaning, who am I? Where have I come from? What is my purpose? So those of you who know, let's sing.
Jai भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला काहे को तू आया जग में क्या जुल्म करना नीली कर्म करे दुनिया से डरना काहे को तू आया जग में क्या जुल्म करना नीली कर्म करने दुनिया से डरना आगे रहने मुझको 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my final version here this morning. I'm sorry. My final version here this morning is very popular one. पिंजरे के पंछी रे तेरा डर ना जाने कोई बाहर से तू खामोश रहे तू भीतर भीतर रोए. पिंजरे के पंछी is a bird that is inside of a cage, and this bird has been inside of a cage for an entire lifetime, and he becomes the prisoner in his own making. He does not understand the reason or the purpose why he has become a prisoner. Now, this bird was created to live in the wild, to enjoy Mother's nature. Now that's a direct reflection of man's life. That cage represents the human body. The bird is the soul that is in prison in that human body for an entire lifetime. And the soul was really created to be in oneness with the super soul. So today, that soul has been freed and is now with the super soul. So let's sing.
Devotees, before the body departs for the cremation site, I would like to say a prayer. And I'm so happy that Pastor Harry, has almost taken over the funeral rites today. So this song, and before I continue the song, those who from the Data Center would remember a gentleman called Dube, he's right next to me, and Saroop, and myself. We met Swamiji for the first time in 1976 by the 4 cylinders. Okay, so the Pandit wants me to move on, so.
Excuse me, everybody. May I have your attention? There should not be too much talking. It's really a time for silence. All right. So, can you please? Here's Panditji, who belongs to the mandir here and has been a long-standing member of this family, if I may say, connected to this family and so on. So, Panditji is here saying a few words, and I think it's very appropriate that we all listen to his wisdom and knowledge. Thank you.
Okay, I will get to the point. As you said, this mantras was given to us by Swamiji. It is the mantra called Nirvana Shakta. The meaning of this mantra, I am neither manas, nor buddhi, nor intellect, nor ahankar. Saroop is saying to all of us here, I am not the air, I am not the tongue, I am not the eyes. I am neither space, light, nor wind. But Saroop is telling to all of us, I am with Shiva now, and I know you all know he went to Swamiji, and he met him before he died. So he is with Shiva now. I am with Shiva, his existence, knowledge, and bliss. Saroop is telling to us, I am not prana, nor the 5 types of wind. I am neither saptadhatu, the 7 elements, or the pancha kochas, nor am I the sensory organs, such as speech, hands, legs, and organs of excretion and generation. And Saroop is saying to all of us, and this is especially to his sons and relatives, I am existence, I am with Shiva now, he is knowledge and bliss. So Saroop is telling to all of us, I have no hatred, no love, no greed, no attachment. I have neither vanity nor jealousy, nor am I dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, the 4 goals of life. But I am with Shiva now, he is existence, knowledge, and bliss. Saroop is saying to us, I have no merits, no sins, no pains, no pleasure now. And let his sons know now he has no pains or pleasure now. I am neither the holy water nor the sacred chantings. I am neither Veda nor Yajna, sacrifice. I am not the eater nor the eaten, for the act of eating. But I am with Shiva, his existence, knowledge and bliss. And finally he's telling to us, Saroop is saying to us, I have no fear of death, nor have I any distinction of caste or creeds. I have no birth, no parents now, no sons, no children. Therefore, no relatives, no friends. Take note, he is saying, I have neither guru now. Swamiji is not his guru right now, nor a disciple. But I am with Shiva, his existence, knowledge and bliss. Sing with me, those who know it. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. One more time. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Mano Shrotra Jile, Nachara Netre, Nachavyo Nabhulil, Natejo Navagari, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. One more time. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Nachar Prana Sanjona Panchavayo, Nachar Saptadhatur, Nava Panchakosha, Nava Paniparam, Nacho Pashta Parvare, Chidananda Rupa शौक्यं न दुःखं न पञ्चो न तीर्थं न वेदा न यज्ञम् अहं भोजनं नैव भोजनं न भोक्ता
चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं
न मृत्युर्न शङ्का न जातिभेद पिता नैव मे दैव मांसर्यभाव न धर्मो न चन्द्रो न कामो न मोक्षः
चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्
अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपो विभूतश्च सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां नमस्सन्निधं नैव भूतेन बन्धः
चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं
शिवोऽहं
शिवोऽहं
Thank you very much, Panditji. It is really most blissful offering at this time. And say after me, say Ram, Ram, Satya, right, together. Ram, Satya, Ram, Satya, Ram, Satya,
Ram
Satya. Thank you so much. So at this time, we prepare to now leave. So I know you will give us a space here. And the five, the gentlemen will be lifting. Can you come closer? And will you all please stand, everyone?
Hari Sundara Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Rama
Into this world we have come alone, और जाए भी अकेला. And in a similar manner, when we take our exit, we shall leave alone. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. When we do take stock of our lives, we realize that this life is a very short visit to a mela. This is a world of strangers. No one is known. Although everyone lives,
Ram Nam Sat Hai, Ram Nam Sat Hai, Ram Nam Sat Hai, Ram Nam Sat Hai. Swame Vamata Sat Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. somebody wants a chant, you want to give the chant.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare. No problem. Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare. Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare.
कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा, पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा। जो भी तेरा ध्यान करे, जो भी तेरा ध्यान करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे। दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय 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 रामचंद्र कृपालु भजो मन हरणारुणं नवकञ्जलोचन गणित अमित च विनव नीलनीरज सुन्दरं पदपीतमानहुतयशुचिनौमिजनकसुधाभरं। श्रीराम श्रीराम रघुदीन बन्धु दिनेश दानव जय जवनिकन्दनं रघुनन्द आनन्द कान्द कौशल दशरथनन्दनं। श्रीराम श्रीराम कुन्दल तिलक चारु विभूषणम् आजानुभुज शरचापधर रामजितकर भूषणम्। श्रीराम श्रीराम तुलसीदास शङ्कर अमर हृदय गंग निवास कुरु कामानिकल दल कंचनम। श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम।
See his son over there.
Yeah, Nari.
Nari.
ओम अनादि निधनो देवा शंखचक्राकराध अक्षय पुंडरीकाक्ष प्रीत मोक्ष प्रभा। ओम विष्णवे नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम राम नाम सत्य है, राम नाम सत्य है, राम नाम सत्य है। जय श्री राम। You all will lift now and you insert into the fire. Leaving the cloth behind. Hari Om.
Hari Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Lift the back.
Hari Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Now.
Very much. Hari Om Namo bala ita dah. Boleh bala ita.
Now.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
can't finish with the temple, you go. I said, go by the temple. They got to buy 2 feet and dig it up and go fix it. So the temple never done. So you go live. Saying never done.
Ayan nga eh, member ka sa kayo, pero kami lang.
Probably need to introduce her and let her know.
She goes to check home and all things, and he knows that she can come and